Hello everyone, I am Shashank and you guys are watching iSharky. So guys, in today's video, we are going to discuss Article 19. So if you don't know, I have already completed previous fundamental rights like Article 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. So after completing this video, please go and watch them also. All the links are given in the description. So let's get started. Article 19 Clause 1. Protections of certain rights regarding freedom of speech, etc. It guarantees the citizens of India the following 6 fundamental rights: freedom of speech and expression, freedom of assembly, freedom to form associations, freedom of movement, freedom of residence and settlement, freedom of profession, occupation. Now let's discuss all of them one by one. So, these 6 freedoms are not absolute. Absolute individual rights cannot be guaranteed by any modern state. An organized society is the precondition of civil liberties. There cannot be any right which is injurious to the community as whole. If people were given complete and absolute liberty without any social control, the result would be anarchy. Liberty has got to be limited in order to effectively possessed, because liberty of one must not offend the liberty of others. Now let's take a case law here. In A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras, Patanjali Shastri observed that man desires to do many things, but in a civilized society, his desires are to be controlled, regulated, and reconciled with the exercise of similar desires by other individuals. Therefore, the guarantee of each of the above rights is restricted by the Constitution itself by conferring upon the state a power to impose a law reasonable restrictions. Impose by law reasonable restrictions as may be necessary in largest interest of the community. The restriction on these freedoms are provided in clause 2 to 6 of Article 19 of the Constitution. Test of reasonable restriction. The restrictions on right under Article 19 Clause 1 can be imposed by a law, not by executive or departmental instruction. The phrase reasonable restriction in Article 19 Clause 6 means that restrictions imposed on a person in the enjoyment of his right should not be arbitrary or of an excessive nature beyond what is required in the interests of the public. The word reasonable implies intelligent care and deliberation which reason dictates. A law which arbitrarily or excessively invades the right of a person cannot be said to contain the quality of reasonableness, and unless it strikes a proper balance between the right guaranteed in Article 19 Clause 1 and the social control in Article 19 Clause 6, it must be held to be wanting in that quality. Now let's talk about those rights which are only available to the citizens. The rights guaranteed by Article 19 are available only to citizens and not to an alien or a foreigner. A foreigner is not a citizen of India and therefore he cannot claim a right under Article 19. A corporation or company cannot claim a right under Article 19 because they are not natural persons. But now there appears a change in the judicial attitude on this point. In bank nationalization case and the newspaper case, the court has held that although a company cannot claim a right under Article 19, yet its shareholders can claim the rights guaranteed by Article 19 if by the state action the right of company as well as the shareholders. The fundamental rights of shareholders as citizens are not lost when they associate to form a company. Now let's talk about Clause 1 and Clause 2, which is freedom of speech and expression is indispensable in a democracy. Article 19 Clause 1 says that all citizens shall have right to freedom of speech and expression, but this right is subject to limitations imposed under Article 19 Clause 2, which empower the state to put reasonable restriction on the grounds of security of state, friendly relations with foreign countries, public order, decency and morality, contempt of court, defamation, incitement to offense, and integrity and sovereignty of India. Freedom of speech and expression means the right to express one's own conviction and opinion freely by words of mouth, writing, painting, pictures, or any other mode. It thus includes the expressions of one's idea through any communicable medium or visible representation, such as gestures, signs, etc. The expression also, and hence freedom of press, is included in this category. Free propagation of ideas is the necessary objective, and this may be done on the platform or through the press. The freedom of propagation of ideas is secured by freedom of circulation. Liberty of circulation is essential as the liberty of publication, because without circulation, the publication would be hardly of any value. The freedom of speech and expression includes liberty to propagate not only one's own ideas but also of the other people. Otherwise, this freedom would not include the freedom of the press. Freedom of expression has four broad special purposes to serve. That is, it helps an individual to attain self-fulfillment. It assists in the discovery of truth. It strengthens the capacity of an individual in decision-making, and it provides a mechanism by which it would be possible to establish a reasonable balance between stability and social change. The fundamental principle involved is the people's right to know. Freedom of speech and expression should therefore receive generous support from all those who believe in participation of people in the administration. It is on account of the special interest which society has in the freedom of speech and expression that the approach of the government should be more cautious while levying taxes on matters concerning newspaper industry than other matters. In Ramesh Thepar vs. State of Madras, Justice Patanjali Shastri rightly observed that freedom of speech and of the press is the foundation of all democratic organizations. For without free political discussion, no public education, so essential for the proper functioning of the process of popular government, is possible. In Prabhu Dutt vs. Union of India, the Supreme Court held that the right to know news and information regarding administration of the government is included in the freedom of press. But this right is not absolute, and restrictions can be imposed on it in the interest of society and the individual from which press obtains the information. Now let's talk about the Right to Information Act 2005 repeals the Freedom of Information Act 2002, which was passed by the NDA government led by Shri A.B. Bajpai. This legislation entitles every citizen to have access to information controlled by public authorities. Under the Act, it is obligatory upon the authority to provide the information and maintain records consistent with the operational needs. These records would have to be duly catalogued, indexed and published at such intervals as may be prescribed by the appropriate government or the competent authority. The object of the Act is to promote openness, transparency and accountability in administration. A person desirous of obtaining information shall make a request in writing or through electronic means to the concerned public information officer, specifying the particulars of information sought by him. Territorial extent of freedom. There are no geographical limitations to the freedom of speech and expression guaranteed under Article 19 Clause 1, Part A, and this freedom is exercisable not only in India but also outside. And if state actions set up barrier to its citizens' freedom of expression in any country in the world, it would violate Article 19 Clause 1 Part A as much as if it inhibited such expression within the country. In Menka Gandhi vs. Union of India, the Union of India contended that the fundamental rights guaranteed by the Constitution were available only within the territory of India. How could the fundamental rights be intended to operative outside territory of India when their exercise in the foreign territory could not be protected by state? Repeals the Freedom of Information Act. The Supreme Court rejected these contentions and held that right to freedom of speech and expression has no geographical limitation. Freedom of speech and expression carries with it right to information as well as to speak and express oneself at home and to exchange thoughts and ideas with others not only in India but also outside. Right to assemble peacefully and without arms. Article 19 Clause 1 Part B and Article 19 Clause 3. All citizens shall have right to assemble peacefully and without arms, but the state can impose reasonable restrictions in the interest of the sovereignty and integrity of India or public order. In Babulal Parathe vs. State of Maharashtra, the right to assemble peacefully is implied in the very idea of democratic governance. Like other individual rights, it is not absolute but relative. Reasonable restrictions may be imposed under Clause 3 of Article 19 in the interest of public order or the sovereignty and integrity of India. Thus, holding of public meetings otherwise lawful may in emergency be prevented if it, in the opinion of an appropriate authority, such action is deemed necessary. Public order has to be maintained in advance in order to ensure it. Therefore, it is competent for a legislature to pass a law permitting an appropriate authority to take an anticipatory action or place anticipatory restrictions upon particular kinds of acts in an emergency for the purpose of maintaining public order. Right to form associations or unions. Article 19 Clause 1 Part C and Article 19 Clause 4. All the citizens shall have right to form associations or unions. The state can impose reasonable restrictions in the interest of sovereignty and integrity of India or public order or morality. Right to move freely throughout the territory of India. Article 19 Clause 1 Part D and Article 19 Clause 5. All the citizens shall have right to move freely throughout the territory of India. The state can impose reasonable restrictions in the interest of general public or for the protections of interest of any scheduled tribes. Right to reside and settle in any part of territory of India. Article 19 Clause 1 Part E and Article 19 Clause 5. All the citizens shall have right to reside and settle in any part of territory of India. The state can impose reasonable restriction in the interest of general public or for the protections of interest of any scheduled tribes. Right to practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade or business. Article 19 Clause 1 Part G and Article 19 Clause 6. All the citizens shall have right to practice any profession or to carry any occupation, trade or business. The state can impose reasonable restrictions in the interest of general public requiring professional or technical qualifications necessary for practicing any profession or carrying on any occupation, trade or business. So guys, Article 19 is also completed. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't watched my earlier videos of Article 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18, so you can go and watch the same. So if you learn anything new from this video, please make sure to like and subscribe this channel. Thanks for watching. Stay healthy, stay focused.